Hey YouTube, it's Dakota New coming at you. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can make a drawing game or a drawing system. A system where you can just draw stuff on the screen, and it'll be so easy and portable. Literally just a prefab, just drop it in whatever pre-existing projects you have, and it will just work. This is actually an asset that I'm coming out with very soon. The asset is not live yet, but because you guys are so awesome and subscription also went up, I just want to say thank you, and by giving you basically the backdoor access to the asset before it's actually even live. So you guys don't even have to buy it, just watch this video and you'll be able to create your own. So with that said, let's get started. So the name of the asset is Easy Draw, and for this example I'm actually going to name it the same thing, and we're going to hit create and create a new project. For this we're going to need two scripts. I'll go ahead and I'll create them right now. Create C# script. I'm going to need a follow camera, and then I will also need a draw manager. So draw manager. Really simple. I'm actually going to create a folder and just put these two scripts in there. You know, I never really liked the fact that Unity creates a scene in the folder for us and everything. I'm going to delete that. And this is all I have. So let's go ahead and just hop into the draw manager script. Now that the script is ready, I'm going to go ahead and create a public variable, and the data type for this is just going to be a game object. And what this is going to be is basically our a prefab that we're going to use. I'll just call it draw prefab. Okay. What this prefab is going to be is basically when you draw something on the screen, what we're going to be doing is really creating planes. And so the planes will like generate a trail renderer, and because we don't want it to always be attached, we're going to use prefab to kind of like instantiate them. Cool? It'll make sense later. Next we just need a local variable, and I like to call this the trail. Just a local variable that will represent each of the items when they spawn, when we instantiate them. And then finally, well actually not finally, we need a vector3, and this, we just call it this will be our plane object. And well, I was right. Now to think of it, that was the final object we need. So we only need these three objects for now. I know there's other tutorials out there on how to draw stuff on your screen, but there's been some updates, and so a lot of those don't even work properly anymore. And so since it's 2009, I kind of just want to give you guys like a fresh look on how to make this work. So first thing as the game starts, let's take the plane object that we just created, and this will be equal to a new plane, because we're going to make a plane out of it. New plane, and then just give it the camera basically position in the forward in front of the camera. That's basically what I'm saying. So camera.main transform, and transform, and then just say forward. Right now I like to times that by like a -1, and then finally the other parameter here you need is, when you create a plane, you need the vector3 in normal, and then you need a what is it, like a distance in float. So we'll just say this dot, not the plane, but this dot transform dot position, and that should really be enough. Let's see, what am I missing? Okay, Oh wow, I am such a noob. Noob. I can't have this be a plane, to be honest. I can't have it be a vector 3, it just needs to be a plane. Makes more sense that way. So, a public game object, a prefab, a local game object so we can use it later on. Multiple areas of our code, and then a plane, and we just call it a plane object. Now that we have initialized this on start, the only thing left now is just to go into our updates and just look for our gestures. So like when someone touches with their finger or when they use the mouse to click, and that's really easy to do. So first thing, let's just get the input. So input dot, and you can find a touch. So touch count. So as long as it's more than 0, then obviously they're touching the phone at the time. So that's good. And if it's more than 0, and do a get touch. Input that get touch, and the first touch. So the first whatever finger they use to touch the screen, not the second. As long as the phase of that is, we're just checking to make sure that their finger is actually started to move. And you can say touch phase dot move. So now that their finger is actually moving on the screen, we're good. Alright, and so we also want to check for mouse input, so we just put another condition. The double lines here just means it's basically the backslash, but just hold shift, boom. This just means another condition, so it's like or. So if they're touching the screen, or just input that get mouse button down. So as soon as they press the button down, it's 0, which means it's the left click, right? Boom. Then we're gonna do this stuff right here. In here now, we're simply gonna do a couple of things. The trail that we made, the public, not public, but the local variable up there. So the trail, not dot, but equal, and this is where we're just going to instantiate it. So game object, this is just the converter here to make sure it comes out as a game object, so you put that in parentheses, and then just instantiate. Instantiate always asks you for what you want to instantiate, so we're instantiating the prefab that we're going to attach soon. And then where, so this dot, it's always a position, so that position, and then they want a rotation afterwards. See right here, well not there, but here. Instantiate looks for a position and a rotation, right? So next, the rotation will be, just say quaternium dot identity. There you go. And that's that. So in order for everything to follow the mouse, we also need a ray cast. So we'll just say mouse. Let me do lowercase m. Mouse ray. And that is going to equal to, just get the camera, was it screen to, was it main, I think it's screen to point ray, yeah, screen to point ray, and then just get the mouse position. So input, mouse position. Wow, IntelliSense is so good to me right now. Mouse position, right? Next, let's get a float just to keep track of the distance. So we just do underscore this. That means distant. And then a condition now. So if the plane object that we made dot raycast and it needs the ray cast, so what, mouse ray, and then out, and then the underscore distance. That is legit. Then, ooh, I am going to need a vector 3. Yeah, because I need a start position. So I'm going to say start position. I'll just call it start post. And that's going to equal to mouse ray dot get point. And then give it that to distance again. So this doesn't exist. Let's create that real quick. So vector 3 done. And that should do it for getting the, as soon as you click, spawning a new object there. Next we need an else if. We're almost done. So now if the input dot touch count is more than 0, again, so we know that it's more than 0. Actually, you know what? Let's copy this. Right. So if it's more than 0 and the phase is not moved, but this time it's gonna be no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That I was doing it wrong. So this should be moved. That's correct. This should be mouse position. Okay, 2. Yep, mouse down. This will be mouse button 0, and this is gonna be begin. Oh my God, this is move. This will be began, right? So this is move. This is began. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry about that. Again, coded noob at its finest. So we don't need all this. Get rid of that. So just these 4 variables. Okay, as soon as this begins, put that there, spawn that, this. So now that we're moving, we just gotta, we're basically gonna do some of the similar things. So these are not local variables, they're created inside the condition, so we can create it again. Sure, get distance again, and then yeah, very good. So I'll check for this condition again, but instead of, you know, setting the start position, at this point we just need to set the trail. So this, right, that we spawn, it's time for it to move and follow us. So that transform in that position will be the same as this. So with that alone, we are good to do a quick test. I'm going to save. And we head back to Unity, and I'll show you just really quick what else we got to set up. So I'll create an object here, an empty object, and I'll just call it draw. And I'll create another empty object, and this is our draw manager. So the draw manager script goes on the draw manager, and then this will just be a prefab that has the trail render on it. Materials, I'm just going to use the default one, default line. I can set my width to about 0.15. The color is fine. Make this round, just set these 2 to 30. Yeah, it's just about right. So if I drag this down here, it turns it into a prefab, and I can delete this from the scene. Let's bring this over here on this side so you guys can kind of see what the issue is going to be now. So with this, I can attach what I just made. And if I press play, see when I click, so to stop it from disappearing, just go back to your prefab, and then here where it says 5 on the time, you can just type infinity. The Infinity Gauntlet. So here's the issue. The manager is remaining in the middle, so if we move it like toward the side, see, like it works. But it starts off wherever this starts off. So for a lot of people, what's been happening is that they draw the line, but it keeps spawning from in the middle because this isn't moving. And that should really move with the mouse, and that's where we have a follow camera script that we're going to code next. So let's do it. Alright, so into my follow camera script, really easy. We don't even need a start, and we don't need that. Well, we don't need these two. So in your start, just go ahead, let's vector it up, vector 3. Just call it temp, you know, because it's going to be the temp position, temporary position. And that will be equal to your input dot mouse position. All right. Next, you will take that temp and get the Z axis and just equal about 10F. You can fiddle with this and find what works best for you. I find 10F is usually just perfect. And then the last piece of code here is just tell this object that this transform dot position equals, and as you can guess, it's going to be camera dot main dot screen to whirl is what you're looking for. Screen to whirl point, and then this is where the temp comes in again. And that's it, and you're done. So now just go back to Unity, find your draw manager, and also you see the draw manager script is on there. Also just add the camera follow, and go ahead and save this out as a prefab as well. Why not? So now this is so independent, easy to use, that you just go to whatever scene you already had and just grab your draw manager, drop it in your scene, press play, and everything should work. As you can see, as I move my mouse around, my draw manager follows, and it won't affect any existing logic that you have with your mouse. It will just follow it anyways. And so it's also compatible with touch with your phone. And if you ever want to change like the size or anything, let's just change the background so it looks better. The size of the draw, it's all here. You just change the size, and you can also change color if you wanted to. So you can also change this to like solid, fixed. So and of course you can also code a script, code it in your script so that you can also just change it, maybe have a UI. Anyways guys, hopefully that was helpful for someone. Let me know, leave a suggestion in the comment of something that I might have missed or that you'd like to see me do. Again, subscribers do get priority over the comments of what they request. But definitely smash the like, show us some love here where we try to educate, and have fun. Have a good day.